Okay, so you got yourself a brand new electric trimmer. This one is the Cobalt 80 volt max with the direct drive. It's got the motor directly driving the head. And what I wanted to show you on this video, there's other videos that show you how to rewind this, but there's a problem when you go to do it the way the instructions tell you to do it. Now, I didn't wind this particular wind using the instructions method. I used my method, which is much better. Notice the string distribution on the channel on the spool. You got an even number, an even amount of string on the upper channel and on the lower channel. That's a good thing. Problem is, you're not going to get that if you use the method that's described in the instructions. Now I'm going to put the method that you've seen in the instructions. If you haven't read that, I'm going to put that on the screen right now. Okay, we're back. So you've seen it. You shouldn't have to take it apart. You should just be able to have the string ready to go with it already assembled. Make sure you're, now the arrows, that doesn't really matter. You just put that in there. Now what does matter, real quick, if you get the bump knob 180 degrees out of phase, it won't sit flush on the spool and it won't feed. You must get these arrows, that arrow and the arrow that's on the spool lined up so it sits flush. So very important. Okay, let me put this together real quick. Snap it. I don't think it snapped in there very good. Let's see. Right, let me try that again. Something didn't. There we go. So it's in there, and you can see it's clearly, as long as these arrows are lined up, then where it says line in, it should, and it does work quite well. You just pick one of your ends and feed it through the inner spool, and it'll pop out the other side just like that. Okay, now I just grab both ends right at this point and I just start pulling it through like that until they're nice and even. They're even. Okay, now, this is the part I don't like, and I think a lot of people have complained about this. I'm going to rotate this a little bit. And if you turn counterclockwise as you're pushing it in, it does pull the line in. Okay. This is frustrating because it does hurt your fingers a little bit if you're not wearing gloves. If you're wearing gloves, maybe it's not too bad. It's not a fun process. What's happening is it's starting to bind up right there. Okay, it's bound up, and I couldn't really wind all of the string on without exerting a tremendous amount of effort. This string is cut to two arm spans, which for me is about 11 feet, a little over 11 feet. The instructions, if you noticed, said you should only put 10 feet of the .095 or the 2.4 millimeter trimmer string on there, and I know it will work with 11 feet. You might even be able to get 12 feet, but 11 feet I think is just perfect. So what's the problem? We'll pop the head cover off and see why it bound up. All right. This problem occurs approximately 95% of the time, and it's frustrating because it causes feeding problems when you go to use it, and it causes frustration. And I don't like being frustrated. I like it to work. Look at the distribution of the string on the spool. That's not even. That's not like what I showed you in the beginning with an even distribution. That's the problem with following the instructions. I don't do it that way. So some sort of design flaw. I don't know what it is. If I'm doing something wrong, if somebody knows what it is, but maybe the solution is you have to press harder. But if that's what you have to do, I'm just gonna do this manually because this is ridiculous. All right, I want easy. I don't want hard. Who out there in YouTube land wants hard? Not me. All right. So I just do it like this. You simply wind it up on there. This is not difficult. Well under a minute, well under 2 minutes for sure. For me, it takes about a little over a minute from the process of when I need to start changing the string. If the string's already cut, you just pop the cover off and you just start doing this. And well, I got it off right there, but okay, there it is. So it's evenly distributed, and you got this configuration right there. That's what you want right there. Arrow facing this way, one string going here, and you just pop it on there. How do you do this? You line the arrow up with one of these two areas right there, not the string outlets. Put it on there, and then the bottom string is really easy. You just put it in there. It's not hard at all. The other one, you have to hold a little pressure, and as you push down on the whole assembly, the whole spool, it'll fit right down in there. Now hold the pressure, grab your cap, the cover, and place that on so that the arrows line up, just to make it a little easier. Well, actually it doesn't matter about the arrows. You just got to get the tabs in the slots, and then click everything down in there, rotate the bump knob, make sure it's seated, and you're done. Now, wasn't that easy? I like that much better, and I like the peace of mind that it's going to feed when you bump it on the grass. Please don't bump it on the cement. I see people do that. They bump it on the cement, and all that does is just grind your bump knob down to nothing real quick. So do it on the grass, do it on the hard pan, anything, but don't put it on cement, okay? All right, thanks for watching. Have fun with it. This is an excellent trimmer. I love this thing. It just has tons of power. Well worth the money as long as the battery lasts.